Hey guys, it's Mr. TJ here with Vertical Journey Martial Arts. I was hanging out here after class, getting everything cleaned up, and I had a thought that I wanted to share with you guys, and I'm super excited to do this because I want to introduce you to some of our cast of characters here at the Dojang. So, I'm going to come over here, I'm going to show you our grappling dummy first, okay? So, this is Mr. Gus. We kind of named all of them. So, this is Mr. Gus right here. Mr. Gus is a grappling dummy that we use for throws, for takedowns, for doing escapes on the ground, for doing arm bars, that sort of thing. He's really good for that. Okay, now I'm going to take you over here. This is our Century 2 XL Pro bag. It's a great bag. We really enjoy using it. It's great for heavy hitting. It's great for full power kicks and punches and things like that. It's a really great bag, nice heavy base to it. So the next one I want to show you is Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob is a favorite here. So this is Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob is internationally famous, not my particular Mr. Bob, but the Century Bob is internationally famous. And he's also a time traveler, interestingly enough. So this is Bob, and we use him a lot for our striking. He's a human analog, which makes it great for doing all sorts of different things, but I'm going to come back to that here in a minute. Another training aid that we have that we really, most people don't enjoy, but he's really, really useful, is this guy right here. So this is Mikey, okay? This is our Makiwara. You can see down there at the bottom, he's got some tires, okay, for kicking. Up here, he's got a leather wrapped post here. There's just a teeny tiny little bit of padding in there behind that to make sure you don't get bloody knuckles while you're training with him, but he's a really good tool. Here's the problem. You see, I've got all of these training tools, but if I don't use this right here, none of it matters. You see, God created us to be creative. The very meaning of the word is creative, right? So if I'm not creative, then all of the training aids in the world won't help me. You see people that go into gyms like 9-Round. Now, I don't have any problem with 9-Round or anything that they do. I'm going to adjust my camera here just a little bit so we can see everything. So we see people who go into these gyms like 9-Round and different places like that, and those are great places. They have their own usefulness, but they go in and they learn a jab and a cross and a hook and an uppercut. Great, okay? Those aren't hard punches. Now, I'm not doing them super high quality right now, but they learn these different punches, and then they do rounds of use on the bag. But the first time they get attacked in the street, everything goes out the window because they didn't use this. They didn't imagine, okay, how am I going to use this on a real person? Now, things like the Bob, okay, or like maybe a Wing Chun dummy, they can help us to work on our focus, on our targeting skills, right? But it's still not a person. That's a good thing, because if it were a real person and I went up here and threw a full power elbow strike, right, I would be in trouble. Like, they would be really upset. There would be blood. I wouldn't be an instructor for very long, or a trainer for very long, right? I would probably end up in jail. It's terrible. You're not supposed to do that to other people. But I can practice on Bob. I can throw full power strikes, and it's fine. Does Bob perfectly represent a human? Well, he doesn't have arms or legs, so no, he doesn't. Here's another thing he doesn't do. He doesn't move. Well, if I want to train for real self-defense, I have to have something that moves. If I want to train for real self-defense by myself, I'm stuck unless I use my brain. So I have to be creative. I have to imagine what a real human body is doing and then move around it. So I can imagine that maybe he reaches out to grab me, right? And when he reaches out to grab me, I move to the side and I push that arm, and then I throw my attack and then back out. But that took mental work. You see, martial arts training is not just about physical work. It's also about mental work. You have to train your brain and prepare it for what it's going to encounter whenever it comes up with a real self-defense situation. If you don't, you're just kicking air. There's no point. It's not useful, okay? So when you train, make sure that you're engaging your brain. Hey, I made a rhyme. I should use that more often. When you train, make sure you're engaging your brain so that when you end up in a real situation with a real moving target, your imagination has already fired the necessary synapses for you to be able to translate what you did on a training aid into dealing with a real bad guy. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope it's useful to you as you continue your training and level up your skills using your own brain's creativity. Keep training, keep growing. See you guys around.